Thank you for joining us for another episode of Vine Panther Presents. We shall be discussing the DC universe as we talk about Lanterns, season 1, episode 1. Hopefully, there will be a season 2. That's why we say season 1. But again, good start to an interesting series. What did they do with budget constraints? How are they going to take the characters? Who's going to hold the ring when it's all said and done? All that has to be discussed. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. You can like on the video. You can comment on the video. You can share the video. What do you think of this buddy cop formula? What movie does it remind you of? Chris and I have a couple of ideas. We'll get to all that. Let's do it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Iron Panther Presents. We talking facts. Breaking down every scene like you're watching with the cast. Yeah. Iron Panther Presents, we break it all down. Every show, every film, best takes in town. Hit like, drop a comment, let the fan vibe. If you feel what we saying, go subscribe. Hey. Iron Panther Presents, come along for the ride. Like, comment, and subscribe. Keep us live.
Alrighty, we are here for the beginning of Lanterns, plural. Because there's definitely more than one overall. But Chris, what do you think? And you are a Green Lantern fan, as you've told us for many years. What did you think of this kickoff of the series?
Man, I know when they first, was it 3 years ago? 2 years? No, 2 years ago when James Gunn announced, like, I guess the project, he did the whole Kevin Feige thing where he did the whole like timeline. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do a thing called Superman because, and then we're going to do Creature Commando. Like, when he did all that, and then he said he's going to do a live action Green Lantern show, I was skeptical. I was definitely skeptical. Because like you said, Green Lantern, like, as far as like, my top 3 superheroes, I mean, Green Lantern is literally number 2. Number 1 being Luke Cage. Luke Cage is my all-time favorite superhero. Followed by Green Lantern, specifically John Stewart, because of me personally. Like, I always looked over, like, because there's so many of these white characters or whatnot, I always gravitated towards the ones that look like us. And I like the ones specifically that weren't like the stereotypes, you know what I mean? In a sense, whose personality was still very like not only very grounded, but you can actually emphasize like actually understand all of these characters. And Luke Cage, essentially just being one of them, as far as like you can understand in his mindset is like, look, I didn't do this crime or whatnot. I was sent to jail for no reason of my own, and then and then when he gets out of prison, my whole thing was, when you become a superhero, my thing I always kept saying is like, if I became a superhero, I want to get paid. And Luke Cage was one of the only few characters where he was like hero for hire, and I was like, yo, that's realistic. Like, none of this like, oh, I'm gonna be a photographer by day and stuff. Like, no, dude. Like, you want me to say people I want to get cat? Like, it's so realistic. You know what I mean? And Green Lantern was another one, especially John Stewart, because especially how John Stewart got introduced. And John Stewart had to be, because he was black, made like a lot of these characters were kind of made right after the civil rights movement. Essentially said, look, I cannot be crazy like these other guys. Like, I kind of had to be like strict. I kind of had to kind of follow the rules and whatnot. And that's, I don't know. That's why the thing I always liked about John Stewart. Not to mention, green's also my favorite color, as well as my birthstone is emerald as well, ironically enough. So, being a May baby. So yeah, when I heard about this though, I was a little skeptical, and then I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, until James Gunn came out and said, you know what, it's gonna be a buddy cop type show, and it's gonna be similar to like something you see with True Detective. When he said that, True Detective is like, it's going to be a murder mystery, Green Lantern, I was like, okay, all right, you got my interest now. Because in my head, I'm thinking straight up like Ryan Reynolds in the 11 and 12 film, and I'm thinking like, how the hell are you going to do like all like Oa, do Planet Oa? It's going to look ridiculous, live action. It's too fantastical. You know what I mean? Like on some Wizard of Oz type stuff. And when I heard that, I was like, okay, so that means they're going to keep the budget a little bit lower. You know what I mean? And then when I heard it was HBO, you know me, you know how much I like HBO, David. I was like, oh hell yeah! So it's like HBO because HBO has some flops, but when I heard that, I was like, yeah. So now I'm finally getting to this pilot episode. I don't know how to say this lightly, but I fucking loved it. Okay, all right, no filters. I fucking loved it. Other than like maybe one or two things that I was not feeling at all, which we'll get to. That was like, really, you know what I mean? I thought it was great. I think Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan. I think they got the perfect. Well, for one, I think the perfect casting choice for Jon Stewart for Aaron Pierre. You know what I mean? Now, I've seen. It's funny. Was it last year? No, 2 years ago when I saw Rebel Ridge, where he played a former Marine in that one. I remember thinking, because I know he was in people's fan cast, like thing for Jon Stewart, like if there was ever going to be one, people were like, yo, he should play. And then I saw Rebel Ridge, I was like, oh, this dude is trying to audition for the Green Lantern. Because I was thinking like, that's Jon Stewart, his personality. Like, and that's just what he plays. I mean, he's kind of like Denzel Washington's a good actor, right? But Denzel Washington plays Denzel Washington. You know what I mean? A lot of times, except for maybe even Malcolm X was a little bit different. You know what I mean? But hell, we just saw Gladiator 2. That was Denzel. That was freaking Denzel. Aaron Pierre, I think, is kind of like that. You know what I mean? Like he's casting more, but Stewart is the character for him, and that makes sense. So much sense. If you don't know what I mean, watch not only look at the comics, but also I guess hell, even watch the animated Justice League. Like he's kind of like that too. He's kind of really stuck up, a little bit. He's really, really strict. But Kyle Chandler as freaking Hal Jordan, love it. Being the asshole, being the whole like, hey, look, this kid is not like this kid is supposed to take over for me. You know what I mean? When I'm gone, I just love the dynamic between the two. Because just like in the comic books, like they don't really like each other. Well, at first they don't really like each other at all. So, but damn, they really don't like each other in this show. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just loved it. I'm a huge fan of it. I can't wait for the next episode. Crazy ending of having Hal being gone. That the first episode. So basically, we're going to be living the flashbacks or whatever. So, but but it makes sense because we're in 2026. You know what I mean? So now it's got to be like the new kids. You know what I mean? Like the Guy Gardners and the Jon Stewarts. You know what I mean? So I guess it makes sense. For the new class of what they're, James Gunn is, I guess, trying to do. But yeah, overall, love it. Can't wait for the next episode.
Ink is here. He says hello. Kim is also here. She says hello, guys.
What's up, y'all?
Thank you for being in the chat. Me personally, I didn't know anything about. I knew Green Lantern from a Ryan Reynolds perspective. I generally knew of the character from a DC, like Justice League perspective. I didn't know Jon Stewart, so I was like, all right, let's see how this goes. So I didn't have any expectations, right? Aaron Pierre, I don't know his work. I didn't see his version of Rambo. Is how when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, this is Rambo. I'm fine. And so he does fit the physical character. Like I almost thought they may have based the character on him. Like so the physical similarities are very much there, and I give you that. When I first
he has green eyes like him too. That's the thing about Jon Stewart. Unlike the other Green Lanterns, when Jon Stewart puts on the ring, his eyes turn green. So I found, and Pierre's actual eye color is green. I just wish the kid actor probably had some context or something.
So we can put it together.
I was like, damn, I didn't know. I was like, I guess kids' eyes can change color over years. So sorry, I didn't get stuff.
But no, I said, hello, Candy. How are you? Thank you for being here.
What's up, Candy?
So I was like, he fit the. I was a little taken aback by his acting. Right? I'm not gonna lie. The first time I watched the episode, I was like, this guy is flat and he's not engaging. Like Hal is engaging, John is not. You know what I'm saying? When I first watched it, so people were like, David, like, what do you think of the episode? And I was like, no, like I can't watch Jon Stewart by himself. Like I need Hal there to give me some type of shit because they work well off of each other. Their chemistry together make them work together. But I didn't think I could watch John. That being said, watching it again today, I was like, get it now, right? Like he's subdued, like he's been trained, he's been conditioned to be this person, like he's been shaped, into this kind of personality, right? So he has to keep his emotions in check. He has to, stay stay stern and stoic in his mind, right? His dad is still there and like on the phone telling him he has to be this way. So now I understand, like there are genuine emotions there, but I didn't see him at first. So second time he won me over, and I was like, all right, so let's see where this goes. We talked about the buddy cop formula, and Chris and I have been going back and forth all week about which buddy cop is this supposed
Training day.
Training day. Training day. Like when it wasn't until I watched it again and I was like, Hal Jordan is Denzel Washington in Training Day. Like that's what he's saying. You got one day and one day only to prove to me you could be a Lantern. But again, he's been at it for like 2 months. But if this was the first day, you could see it. Like you could say, look here, because again, John represents his death. It's not just I'm retiring and you're taking the ring. I gotta die. That's how this works. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't need you as a constant reminder that my clock is ticking and that the bosses said, you out of here at some point, and this guy's gonna take your place. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, it's already an adversarial relationship, between the two of them. And John is just like, I'm just here to learn. I'm picked for the job. Teach me what you're gonna teach me, bro. And he done. Why have you teach me to fly? Like he seems to be like whatever is necessary, right? If this gets me from point A to point B, I'm here for you. And he's trying to get a rise out of him. He's trying to get him, to do something. And he's like, no. Whatever you say, 3 bags full. That's why I'm taught. And it's like, and that's interesting. Anyway, so we first settled on Men in Black. That's what we thought, because I was like, this is definitely like Hal is definitely giving me Tommy Lee Jones vibes, like 100%. Like, look here, buddy. I've been doing this for a little bit. Just sit down and watch Daddy work. Like, just give me that. And then he's like, all right, young buck, let's see what you got. Like, you run this guy down, and let's see. And I'm gonna walk, and I'll be there. But don't worry. And it's like I was like this, but then like Training Day, 100% Training Day. Yeah. And we picked him up in the car. I was like, Training Day. But it's well done. It's well done. I love Alex Pierre and Rebel Ridge. This first episode was a lot of information, but loving the show already. It was. Yes, I love the series. I thought it was well acted. I see these 2 actors in a buddy cops scenario, and I see the connection to True Detective. All right, so we got I was very engaged with the entire episode. The actors actually have a great bond, according to the extras I watched on HBO, and it shows on screen. Storytelling. So this is again, if by the trailer and by the this season, like future episodes, right? It seems to be about both Hal and John working together to understand and stop the alien invasion in 2016, not necessarily John investigating Hal's death in 2026.
That'll probably be like the last 2 episodes, perhaps, maybe, or I don't know.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's going to be more about 2016, and they're prepping to be like, if season 2 happens, then to me, True Detective is a murder mystery. That's what I'm saying. To me, True Detective. So it's like, who killed Hal Jordan? Like that's a whole other story, right? And that's why I'm like, what is it gonna be? Right. So what are your thoughts on Focus? I guess because both of them are important stories to tell. I guess.
I mean, I think a lot of it. I think what will. I mean, I obviously think that we're going to be mostly living in 2016, mostly, and maybe perhaps it'll fast forward a little bit into the future, but in between 2016 to 2026, I feel, you know what I mean? And, and see like what all transpired to make it where hell, like Stewart is actually now cool with the deputy now. Before the deputy was like, yo, get the fuck out of my way. And now she's like, oh, hey, John. And I'm like, y'all cool? Like, y'all cool now? Damn. Okay. That's a huge shift from 10 years ago, but so and then so a lot of stuff's going to have to be answered between like what happened to Hal's ring, you know what I mean, now that Guy Gardner, because Superman took place a year before in 2025. So what happened in between? I mean, because we know Guy Gardner, Nathan Fillion is going to be like in the show. We don't know how much of the show he's going to be in. So I guess obviously that will be kind of explained of how he kind of takes over at one point. You know what I mean? Does he get his own ring? Is the ring that's away from Hal with him? I'm gonna say probably not. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because I would imagine that Stewart would have know that Guy already is already over there like helping Superman and Hawkgirl out and
right.
So yeah, and Peacemaker maybe but anyway, so no, but so yeah, so so that's what I'm theorizing. I do have a theory as far as what happened to Hal. Oh, you want me to share it now? Okay. My theory. Okay, let me start off with this. Let me start off by saying this. Jon Stewart's father. It's interesting that they changed the name. Jon Stewart's father. His father's name. His father's name is supposed to be Henry Stewart. In this show, his name. I mean, if you look at the cast, he's Jon Stewart Sr. I thought that was interesting.
Oh.
I also find it interesting that because he is never in the comics does they ever say he's a Marine too. So he's a Marine, and the first time we see him, he happens to be wearing green, his uniform, and everything else. So and he knew everything about the program that his sons were watching. My theory is that he wanted to be a Green Lantern himself. And he couldn't cut it. He couldn't cut it for whatever reason. I think I thought that it was a big deal. There was a reason why they kind of at one point focused on the picture in the background of the looks to be like his wife. I theorized that that was probably his weakness, I guess, with his because in the comics Jon Stewart's mother died, and apparently she's supposed to be like Ari Nicole Parker, who's in
she's
playing Jon Stewart's mother.
Okay.
But then there's also a younger actress playing another version of her mother, and I found that interesting. You know what I mean? And then so in the comics, she's like she has dementia. She starts to have dementia and whatnot, and she's dying. I feel like that was probably going to be his father's weakness. Is that what I mean? I thought it was very important that Hal said nothing can prepare like once you lose a parent, you know what I mean?
There's nothing else.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I feel like that was probably Stewart Sr.'s weakness. He couldn't cut it or whatnot. He said, "Yo, you ain't really worthy enough," and then so he groomed his son, Junior, to be.
All right.
To do that.
to be fearless.
And then he shot, he shot over the apples and whatnot, and then boom, he probably asked. I theorized when we see the killer with Hal Jordan, the question's going to be asked to Hal Jordan.
Okay.
Hal says, "Are you afraid?" And Hal says, "No."
Oh,
just like the apple.
All right.
And then it pans out, and it's Jon Stewart Sr.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
So I don't know. That's my theory. I don't know. But then that kind of also seemed kind of too. I don't know. You think that's cliche? Probably not. I don't know.
No. It's poetic, especially if he thought he would be the first human Green Lantern, right? If somehow he knew about the program before, and it's like, and he took it from me. Like he's like, what's his name? When he's like, that mother, this is the guy that took it from me. You know what I'm saying? And like, so yeah, that would make sense. And then and at that point, Hal
and then him taking out Hal means the backup can now have the ring,
right?
Well, even though he doesn't have it unless Stewart Sr. is like, fuck it, I'm taking the ring now.
But I'm like, where's the ring? That's the other part. Like, I'm like, but also, hold up. So it was a great episode. Please watch the podcast where the creators talk about the focus of the show, and you will understand more about the direction of the show. Yes, please share, Chris, as he did. In darkest day and brightest night, no good shall escape my sights. Let those who worship goods might beware of gold lanterns lights. And then there was a lot of bullet holes in that wall he's been shooting. Yeah, that's my prop. Like one, when I saw Lil Murder from P Valley walk through the door, I was like, what?
Someone call Uncle Clifford and be like, yo, handle your boyfriend.
I was like, that's why he's mad. That's why he's mad, because they found out he was gay and they wanted to kick him out the military. And they're like, damn it.
David, you know there's people watching this and being like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yo,
people have no idea what you're talking about right now.
I thought little Uncle Clifford was going to be like, baby, is this your kids? Why did you never show me your kids? Oh, but...
Sorry, guys. In case y'all don't understand. All right, the guy who's playing his father is also on a little show called P Valley on Stars. And he has so that's what we're kind of riffing off of that, because I know that's probably two different audiences right now. So I know people are probably like, what the hell is he talking about? He gay and all this other stuff. So
anyway, needs to work until P Valley comes back on.
I know, right?
That's real. That's real, Ink. That's real. But no. But no, when I saw him, I knew Chris saw it at this point, and I was like, why is Major Payne in this shit?
Oh, Major
bro,
Payne.
He made Major Payne look like Uncle Phil. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, this dude is fucking crazy. Like, and it did remind me. And when he was like, go get my field knife, and I'm like, that little boy's gonna grow up to be a serial killer. Like, all joking aside, you cannot have Major Payne raising your children. A kid who lost his family in a terrible car accident, he will be a killer. And I was like, but you saw the bullet holes. He's been doing that. Like, you've been doing that for years. That is child abuse. Like, where is Child Protective Services? And then I'm like, where is his mama? I'm always like, where's the black daddy? Now I'm like, where's black mama? Like, this poor boy has been like systematically, mentally, if not physically, also abused to be shaped into a fearless weapon if necessary. Right. Like you have to not care about anything or anyone. And he's like, shoot it, daddy. He's been doing this for years. Like, we need to get into that. We need to get into that, dude. I was like, what in the fuck
you know
is
what?
happening?
And this is why when I heard that the same creators who did Watchmen, the TV show Watchmen on HBO, did this, I was like, okay, this makes sense now, because even the way they changed certain things, even in Watchmen and whatnot, a lot, like flip certain things, and I was like, all right, that's different than what you would do in the comics, but I ain't mad at you though. You know what I mean? I like this. I like that they did this, because that's the thing. You don't really you don't know too much about Stewart's father, other than his father is a dick, and he's seen as an abusive husband / possibly, and father. In one iteration, I guess he's an alcoholic or whatnot, but that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? You don't really get too much about Stewart's father. You know what I mean? But this right here, him shooting an apple off of his dome. I'm like, God damn. And and like you said, you can tell he's been doing it for years, not just from the bullet holes, but how much little kid just did not even flinch.
And he was like,
he didn't flinch. I'm like, oh shit.
Like, that's a story by itself. Like, yes. I want
that's Lioness right there. That's right. He's like that's
like we need. Yo, that is the making. That is the making of a killer, bro. Like, he needs to be on a rooftop with a long range rifle and be like, "This is what I do for a living. This is how Daddy taught me." Right? Like, I'm like, it would make sense. We got David. David, you're always asking where the kids at.
Oh yeah, where the kids?
When they show kids, they get like apple shot off their heads. Like, that shit ain't funny, bro. I'm like, damn it. I was like, I was gonna put Major Payne on the thumbnail, but I was like, even Major Payne ain't this bad. Like this is like the rated R version. Watchmen was a great series, but
it was
and similar to both episodes, they end with a murder, and then it turns into, how did this happen, right? Like, like how do we get there, right? And my problem from a storytelling perspective is that to let us know already that 10 years from 2016, John still doesn't have the ring. He's still not the Green Lantern. And now we got to go through. I'm like, he ain't suiting up season 1. That's not happening. And we already know that the militia ranch is destroyed. We know that, you know what I'm saying? The sheriff and her son live. We know that too, right? It's like we know how things work out for the major characters, at least characters involved, and now it's, well, how do we get there? How do we get back to the end?
I don't know. I think, well, I don't know necessarily that we won't see him at the very end, at least. I'll say this: the actor Aaron Pierre, he's in the cast list for the next Superman film, but so is Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner, Aaron Pierre, So I'm just saying. I mean, to your point, maybe in the next Superman movie, that could be when he finally possibly become it. Maybe, you know what I mean? Other than the show, but but I'm just saying, there's still a possibility, or there could be like a break where he has to temporarily become it. You know what I mean? The Green Lantern, because that happens a lot too. Matter of fact, and that's the thing they kind of changed in this show, which is interesting, where it was the whole like there can only be one Green Lantern on Earth, and I was like, that's not true. You know what I mean? It's like, we got like 3 active ones, you know what I mean? And then finally you got the 4th one that comes even after Jon Stewart with Kyle Rayner. And then now apparently there's like a new one, which I'm not really caught up with the newer versions now. I'm all the way up to Kyle Rayner, that came after, once Hal Jordan becomes evil, you know what I mean? But yeah, I thought that was an interesting thing for them to say over and over again, was saying there can only be one.
There can only be one. Yeah.
I'm wondering, especially seeing how Guy Gardner's in this season, I'm wondering if like in the midst of it, and apparently I guess we're supposed to also see the Guardians in this season too. Yeah, so I'm wondering if there'll be a change depending on like maybe there's a huge alien invasion, and then the Guardians are like, all right, we're gonna lift this rule. Like, we need all hands on
press.
deck.
All hands on deck.
Or something like that. You know what I mean? I'm wondering that's what happened. Because I know it kept bugging me, thinking like Guy Gardner, like talking about one ring, only one ring.
But he in the show though.
Happened. I'm like,
but like he's in the show right now, so this don't make any sense, right? Like you see him in the trailer, so it's like he's going to show up and he's talking to Hal, like, so Hal is still alive. You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
But then I guess I keep having to remind myself this is 10 years before, so maybe something happens in between the 10 years where that you know what I mean?
Yeah. They have to cover that span of time. But again, everything happens into yes, Kim, I love Watchmen. Watchmen. I mean, Watchmen it was HBO level. I mean, Chris is always going on about HBO does is the top when it comes to prime time, premiere television, and Watchmen was no exception. But that was one season and done. You know what I'm saying? And it was a standalone story. It was very much that, but they left it with just a little. They wanted to continue Regina King like taking on the powers of her man. Like they could have did that, but they just left you with a little hook. But with this is a part of the universe. There will be another Superman movie, and therefore John has to suit up if he's representing the Lanterns, in the Justice League. Like so we got to get characters from point A to point B with this. I just felt. Again, so I didn't watch the podcast. So if this is going to be 2016 alien invasion, right? Which is all over the trailer. I mean, that's what you see Hal with the ring doing his stuff. You know what I'm saying? You see him going to see Sinestro. Like you see so many things of Hal being in this thing like heavily. I didn't see, goatee Jon Stewart doing anything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, maybe they kept that out of the trailer for some reason. And and like that's gonna be a heavy part of the show. But I'd be interested to see how that, how they intertwine the two storylines, because, but again, in the end, he still don't have the ring. And where is the ring? Like if Hal is dead, that ring should have flew directly to John to say it's your turn. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't have to drive his truck to Hal. The ring should have brought him to Hal, apparently. And we start that, this, now I know how I got the ring or why I got the ring, because, and then we can move on from there. So, but I still, for me, storytelling wise, it takes away from the mystery if I kind of know how it all ends, at least for certain characters, for me.
Yeah.
And it would have been nice to kind of see that evolve and be like, and that be a surprise.
So you wanted the Death Knot to be until the end.
Yeah. Or the, yeah. It takes
I understand it. I get it. I get it. I don't know. I kind of, for me, I like that we know that he's dead now, only because it is very cliche to think that all these characters are always making it or whatnot. But then now it forces me to watch certain things that happens to both of these characters, specifically Hal, to see like, oh shit, like, it'd be like the whole like who shot Mr. Burns with the Simpsons type deal, and I'm thinking like you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
yeah,
well,
Smithers, you got like that's you know what I mean? And and I think kind of True Detective kind of didn't True Detective kind of like have like a major character like kind of dead in the first 1 or 2 episodes?
The two major characters. No, Woody Harrelson and
Yeah.
I can see the Matthew McConaughey were both alive. To me, they were the main characters, and they were alive. I think either way, like they kind of worked through the process, So I think, but I think it's the more time jumping detective type story. It's still an investigation. We got an alien who just blew himself up. He's hinting at a war/invasion on Earth. Hal said that the fact that he got the ring in the first place was because a random lantern crashed into Earth. So he felt like something big was coming to Nebraska and to Earth anyway. So we still got something to investigate, You know what I'm saying? And I think what they're trying to say is, like you pointed out, good or bad, they got to keep the budget low. So you're not seeing a lot of, like spectacular superhero Green Lantern stuff. You got two guys walking around Nebraska trying, getting into adventures, trying to solve this mystery of what is this invasion? Because apparently, Manhunter, some kind of Martian Manhunter or some kind of Manhunter is really the threat.
No, it's a man. Okay, yeah. It's not Martian Manhunter. So
it's not Martian Manhunter.
But before the Guardians created Green Lantern, see, this is where I nerd out a little bit. So, and this is why I think maybe in DC should have changed the name for certain Manhunters. So, before the Guardians, before they created the ring to give out to the Green Lanterns, they wanted to protect the various universes and the different galaxies. They created what's called Manhunters, which are androids, and they sent androids out to different sectors to essentially protect different worlds. The problem with the Manhunters was because they're literally androids. They started looking at peace and more of like in order for peace, like these things need to die. And then they also were like able to easily get hacked, which is what essentially happened. You know what I mean? Some alien speed, I forgot what it was, like some used it for a nefarious thing. So the Guardians had to destroy all the Manhunters. The problem is some of the Manhunters escaped, and then they couldn't find the Manhunters, so they just said, screw it. How about we just use actual living beings, and they will be the peace givers, the Peace Corps, and that's where the Green Lanterns came in. But those Guardians are still out. I mean, I'm sorry, not the Guardians. Those Manhunters are still out there. So yeah, so when I heard Manhunter, I was like, ooh, even though I ain't gonna lie, it would be awesome to get both that Manhunter and then also a Martian one. It would be kind of cool if they actually just say it's like, oh, you mean the guy you give Oreos to? You know what I mean? No, but
they can't afford all that.
Now they can't afford all that, and then then they'll be like, damn, we're gonna put more black people in this. You know what I mean? Because
but
Martian Manhunter's black guys anyway. But unless they change that, but yeah. So I think they're kind of putting an Easter egg that we're going to see the Android Manhunters, and however it would also be good for HBO because Manhunters, even though they're androids, they can change forms and they can change into possible humans as well, or look like humans.
Yeah.
So that'll be another way they can kind of save on budget,
save money
until they start shooting or whatever, and then that's when you're like, oh snap, and then so. But
so it's interesting. So the Manhunters, the name at least was mentioned in the trailer. So I knew something about a Manhunter was coming. You saw something transform into something like that. I saw that in the trailer. So I thought, okay, Manhunters are coming to Earth, and therefore, like Hal and John have to stop the invasion. So where is Will a Manhunter? Because I don't feel like he's human. Because I feel like I was questioning his status, because he's like he's building a militia to fight for Earth, really. And I'm like, is he human? Because
no, he's definitely alien. I don't think he's a Manhunter though. I highly doubt he's a Manhunter, because Manhunters kind of just like work kind of mostly by themselves. Because what he said was he said what was the words he used exactly? He said I'm working for somebody.
Yes,
I can't say who it is.
I can't say who it is.
I'm thinking like if it was a Manhunter, he would just be working for themselves. You know what I mean? Like, okay. I guess you could still it could still be someone, from the other, Lantern Corps or whatnot, or it's like a Sinestro type deal. But that was that was kind of more alien-esque. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that entire family are aliens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was rather interesting that they could pay for everything like seamlessly. That ranch was on loan apparently. They didn't have like, you know what I mean? So it was like, where do you live then? Like, like, oh no, he said he's house sitting pretty much.
Yeah.
So
Like I'm here. I'm representing someone else. I just happen to be here.
So where's your house?
Yeah.
Oh wait, you don't have one, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're really cool about someone sleeping with your wife.
So,
and then your wife was interesting enough. It was like, listen to everything that was going on in that bar, and that's actually one of the negatives I have. That's the negative I do have.
Okay, well, please.
Big negative. Jon Stewart in this first episode, they showed how kind of smart he is. He's young and whatnot, and he's not experienced, and obviously he made a mistake about kind of tipping off that alien to run off in the middle of the field, whatever. But he ain't that dumb to know somebody asked you so many fucking questions in the bar about it. It's like, oh, you're gonna take the ring? I was like, okay, fine, that question, whatever. But then she starts saying, so if something happens to him, you become that guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Why? Like, come on, man, you're a Marine, dude. Like,
right.
Come on, man. Like, even civilians can know that. Just like she's asking way too many damn questions. So many freaking questions. You know what I mean? Too many. And then you just go and just be like, all right, let me just sleep with the girl that was asking. It was just, I was so disappointed in it. I was like, oh, damn. I was like,
come on, bro. Bro.
I thought that was the thing I kind of, as far as everything that happened, and that's the thing. I would never knock anybody in any of these TV shows getting late. You know what I mean? That was one of the few times where I was like, fuck, dude.
Nah.
And bro.
I don't need to. I feel bad. This is not an ageist statement. I don't want to feel like this, but I'm like, she ain't the one. Yeah. She ain't the one. Like, this man is very good looking. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way he ain't got no ass before in life. Like, this is mama level. You know what I'm saying? I would be like, thank you, ma'am, right. But I gotta go. Like, I'm gonna find somebody age appropriate, and I'm gonna nail her. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he feels like he's in the middle of Nebraska, and you're like, well, damn, like Slim Pickens type. I don't.
I'm like, this don't. This
no, yeah. I was. I'm glad you said it, not me, because I was kind of thinking that too.
I was like, this ain't no. If Hal would have got those draws, that would have made sense.
I would have understood that a little bit more,
right? But not John. I mean, come on, bro. Like, I was like, we're doing too much right now.
But her husband was super cool about it. And I'm thinking,
right. He was like,
I'm like, okay.
I was like, nah. This is
trying to get information.
Like, I'm ingratiating myself into this family, right? Like, we know who he is. Eventually, he's gonna come to our house. Zoe, you go out there, you scout out, you figure it out, and then eventually, I'm gonna get him to where I need him to be. It was kind of convoluted though, with the whole I gotta get into a fight to get again. Men in Black. When Tommy Lee was like, I gotta go get my gun. Whatever's necessary, just keep him on this planet. And he's like, eat me.
Oh, and Bad Boys when Martin Lawrence like fighting in the bathroom, and then
getting his ass whooped.
Getting his ass whooped, and Will Smith's all into the entertainment of the strippers.
I get you. Well, I submit again that wasn't on purpose. That wasn't on purpose. Like, it just happened to be. That's what I'm saying. For the older guy to be like, this is for a purpose. He's like, you might want to try to save me. No, I'm gonna be all right. Like, I was like this. Oh, also, Lethal Weapon. So when Hal and John go to Will at the ranch and they're talking, and Will's like, basically, I know you. He's like, you didn't look into me. He's like, that's either trust or arrogance. And Hal's response of, he's trust, I'm arrogance. I was like, Lethal Weapon 3 when Riggs and Murtaugh meet Riggs' soon-to-be girlfriend, and he's like, are we chaos and mayhem? It's like I'm chaos, he's mayhem. We'll dual act. it's like are we required reading some shit? but it was that kind of quick, and I was like, I love this thing. And like you can tell that these two men have been doing this for a little bit, right? and they respect each other, you know what I'm saying? But they got roles to play, you know what I'm saying? And it's like you ain't stepping. Also, colors. That's what I thought about. Remember? You remember colors?
That was the one with the what's his face? The dude.
Sean Penn. Sean Penn was the younger cop. I think
Sean
Robert
Penn
Duvall.
The guy.
I think
the
Robert
dude just
Duvall
passed away, right? Rob Duvall, yeah.
Rob Duvall was his partner,
Colors,
and he was
colors.
Right, but like that kind of, old cop teaching new cop, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Or Seven. I think I was bouncing around Seven.
I mean, I was even thinking of Beverly Hills Cop, even though it was mostly Eddie Murphy. But I was thinking like Eddie Murphy and was it Judge Reynolds, like when him like it's like Axel, and then them being kind of straight laced, and he's like, wow, this is crazy, and him trying to lose like the two cops in Beverly Hills and whatnot, Hell, okay, here you go, 48 hours.
Stereotypes.
Huh?
Stereotypes.
Yeah, but it was the 80s. They,
Well, that could happen today though. but let me say, for a black character, he had a daddy. He was crazy and abusive, but he had a daddy, and he wasn't raised in the projects. And when I saw him in a middle class house with brother, I was like, this is already great representation. Because if he was in the middle of Detroit, you know what I'm saying, like living.
That his original thing was he. That's funny. He was actually born in Detroit. I don't know if not in this show, but the comic book version he was.
Oh damn it! Damn it!
I was like, oh shit! I was like, but ironically enough, though, when he was created, though, one of the things they changed a lot of aspects to him. His name was supposed to be like Lincoln Washington, and then the guys was like, nah, we can't do that to him because then they thought that would be too ingrained into like the slave mentality of the name or whatnot. So they're like, no, give him a normal name like you would a white person's name. What I mean? So they're like, John Stewart. Yeah. John Stewart and he was so not they try to keep away from the stereotype. Even though the very first mission he got had to deal with but it was really good what they did with it. It had to deal with race for his first mission, but it was him protecting a white supremacist, or someone who was like pretty much like a David Duke from being assassinated. Wow. Essentially. Wow. And that's why how Jordan thought it was like, it's like what, you're trying to protect this guy or whatever? And Jon Stewart said, no, I was like, you just can't be killing people, even though it was like, he's like, this dude wants you to be gone, like you and your people to be gone, But that's how he kind of proved himself to Hal, because he was like, this dude's looking way beyond himself. You know what I mean? And he's willing to protect this guy who wants to see him dead himself. You know what I mean? And that's how he kind of established himself. And that's how Jon Stewart's even personality kind of came out, in the sense of like saying like, I'm about the mission, and I'm about not giving people what they want, and me being the angry black man. You know what I mean? And so he keeps his emotions tight, but that's the problem about Jon Stewart. And I'm wondering if that's what we're going to get in the show, because Jon Stewart's weakness is that he bottles everything up. You know what I mean? Because he kind of has to, because he feels like that's what he needs to do for the surface. He feels like he had to do that in the military. And he feels like he definitely has to do that as being a Green Lantern. Like, he can't let his emotions, because that's the thing. If the Lantern's like, that's why like your ring can turn, like, after a while, that ring can turn from green to a different color if you ain't careful. Which I found interesting in the Lantern's logo. At first it was yellow, and then it turned green. I was like, is that yellow? I was like, what are they trying to show? Like, what are they trying to say? So but yeah, so that's it is kind of, so yeah, they're trying to keep him away from the stereotypes, but the one stereotype I guess they did, well, someone have, was the whole Detroit thing. But
it just came out my mouth.
That's funny. That's funny you said that, man.
I was like, oh shit. Actually, because we just got done watching DR of Detroit, so maybe that's why I was up here. Will is an alien because he only looks 5 minutes older than Jason Ritter's character. And
so Jason Ritter's mustache, that don't look real either.
That look fake as fuck.
I was like, alien, definitely alien. Like, all y'all aliens.
But like someone, I was talking to someone about the show earlier, and it's like the casting is just off. Like, this guy, like he looks the same age as his kid. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it was kind of weird. It was out of character for him to sleep with a random woman. we just met the dude, but it didn't seem like this was someone he would do. But the average guy would do. You saw this man's body in the boxing ring. He got options. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just would be like, it's okay. I'm gonna find somebody. I got Tinder right here or something. I'm gonna find somebody. I mean, I was like, I don't know if they do that anymore, but I'm sure he would have been all right. I like the scene when Hal figured out the guy is in custody was the alien. It was fun. Yes. So
it was funny.
I felt like to your point of racism and also Watchmen, I was like, I don't need this bullshit. I don't need to see this turn like this. That's what one of my negatives for Watchmen was, that it got way too racial to me for no damn reason. And I'm like, and it just irritated me. So he was like, you don't have nothing to say by Barack Hussein Obama, but it's like looking at you and where you're from, you need to hate this because he's Democrat, because
no, not like, that he hates, but he just doesn't have a view, period. Like, you know what I mean? And that's the thing, and that's why Hal, and that's why he's perfect for Hal, because Hal can sometimes be wrong, but Hal literally says what's just on his mind. You know what I mean? Out loud. And he's like, and like he says, he's been doing this for quite some time. He's like, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I met someone, like, I don't know, if I went down to Mississippi, I'm sorry, okay, because I'm sorry, we all have a little bit of like we stereotype everyone. Let's be honest. Right. If you deny it, then you're not really being real with yourself. You know what I mean? You go down in the middle of Mississippi, and then all of a sudden, like, let's be real, like, you just say something about like, oh, like, what do you think of Sean Penn's portrayal of Harvey Milk in Mississippi? I'm going to think in my head. I'm thinking like, oh, this man's going to probably like thinking like, oh, what the hell is this gay shit? You know what I mean? I'm just saying. That's just straight up what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? And yeah, Nebraska, I'm thinking like when he said that, like he's like, oh, there was some controversy about where he was like his birth certificate. And I'm like, this nigga. I was like, hold on, bro. I was like, wait a minute, dude.
It's interesting choice of words. But it's also and Waylon Sanders was the character's name, the alien's name. It was interesting how his eyes always looked like he was Googling it in his head.
Right.
Like he was, right.
Like he was like on Wikipedia.
Right. He was like, and there's it's like, hold up, but then he couldn't go Harry Potter. He was like, what school did Harry Potter go to? Like, it was all.
Well, not only that, like, who says Obama? He says, what about Obama? Who says like 44th president? Like, a lot of people can't even say that. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, people who are actually from Earth. They would say 40. They just say like, "Oh, he's our president right now." I mean, which he said that part, but then just say like, "Yo,
the first black president."
He didn't even say he's black. I'm sorry. Right. Even black people say he's black. Like
he's the first black president.
He didn't say none of that. He said there was a controversy about birth certificate. I'm like, I was like, "Yo, get this man. If you don't blast this dude with your ring."
You read. So also to the budget issue. So we can do that scene like. He should have turned into an alien, but like it's like they couldn't afford it. They're like, okay, even Hal in the suit, like during the interview, like that's why I put that in the thumbnail. That's the only time we saw him in the suit. It's a budget issue. And they're doing it to show a disservice to me though, because when he's giving his origin story, we should have saw that of him being taken up, carried to the alien. He gets the ring. That should have been on camera so we can understand that journey for him. And how he got the ring. I felt
but David, they wasted the budget giving us that big ass war at the end of House of Dragons, man. Like, it was wasted.
It's like
we had to show this big ass war scene, and then now I was like, hopefully there's a little bit something left for Welcome to Derry season 2 now. You know what I mean? Like, well, there's a little bit of something, you know.
Well, looking at the trailer, there's a lot of great action, like lantern stuff gonna happen later on. Right. But I think as we discussed, it's like I didn't want 3 or 4 episodes of an 8-episode season, them just walking around like dudes, just get into it like local adventures. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need detectives, I need lanterns, right? You need to suit up and do some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, then it's like it's not lanterns to me. Like, but anyway, like I said, like him flying, they're choosing where to put the CGI money. That's what I'm saying. And I think his origin story would have been it. Did anyone notice the camera work in the police station when Hal slammed the alien? They showed each main character in the mirror at the same time. It was great camera work. I mean, they greatly. Yeah, they're from the trailer. It looks like Sinestro is locked up. Yeah, he goes to see him. He goes to see him when they're locked up. Loved the writing in that scene.
Yeah, that actor was good. That was a good. Yeah, that actor. He was whatever his character's name was. He was really good.
Waylon. Yeah,
Yeah,
Waylon
Waylon.
from Alien. From the movie Alien. Waylon,
Oh no, he's making okay. Oh, good catch, Blitz. Okay, what he's saying is okay. So you're saying okay. So his name was Waylon.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
So, so that's why he named
Waylon
himself
Sanders.
Waylon, because the movie Alien.
Yes.
There's the corporation that
Yes.
was in charge of finding all the species, like the different species, and
Oh, it's called the
collecting
Wayland
these samples.
Corp-
It's Wayland
organization.
Corp. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe that was done
Okay.
on purpose. I see. What
Oh,
you're
does
saying.
Warner Brothers own that property?
No, that's is that FX?
I think it's
I
Disney.
mean, Fox.
It's Disney
I think
now.
that's Fox,
It's
which
Disney.
means
It's Disney now. It's Disney now.
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah.
The reason I bring it up because they mentioned Harry Potter, which Warner Brothers
Warner.
therefore owns. You know what I'm saying? But no, the way from thank you. I wouldn't have got that.
I didn't even get that Blitz. That was okay. Good catch on that one.
Because I was like, and it felt like Men in Black. It felt like Men in Black when
I was waiting for him to be like this, and then just
no,
become a big ass cockroach, you know?
Right? Just to be like, what? They couldn't afford it. They couldn't afford, like, they were like, not this episode.
I mean, they could afford like a little CGI, make it his eyes tweak, like maybe like blink sideways or something.
Yes, yes. Like, I mean,
Something.
all that would have been something. I'm just saying, I was like, if this is this guy has the power to blow himself up. He's a mini nuke, apparently. It's like you need to give us some kind of hint of what kind of alien he is or whatever. Also, the ticking was a bit much too. Also, but it was like you can hear it. It's like I can trigger it off of my brain, but for some reason it has a countdown.
I do find it though interesting because you were saying you really wanted to be a Green Lantern show with a lot of it. But here's the deal though. I do find it interesting that the word, especially when we were talking about budget, that there was a line saying like, "Hey, you travel all the way out here without your lantern, like your actual lantern.
Yes.
You sure you got enough juice in there? Like, you know what I mean?" And I was thinking, like, oh, that's how they do it. They were like, you know what? Can't really use the ring too much. I can use it for small stuff.
Oh, got it.
I mean? But can't
Got
do
it.
it. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking
I gotta conserve my power.
Even though one of the trailers they show him like grabbing the battery, like he does get it. So
So that's what I'm saying. Like they're like a lot of these shows, they start off low. They're trying to build up to it. They're gonna build up to it. Like when he makes the tornado or something with the ring, when like he builds like a whole spaceship with the ring. Like again, he's gonna see Sinestro, like Hal, not John. He's gonna fly somewhere and see Sinestro. So there's a lot of Hal Jordan stuff and story to tell without John. You know what I'm saying? So he has to be alive and present to be doing this stuff. You know,
not only that, do you think I think that Hal also, before he died, he sent John a message through. He finally did a backup. He finally did another backup.
Oh, a proper backup.
I feel like what John will find the ring, and then Hal will give him like another message or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And saying like,
damn,
"Damn, I must really be dead this time." Like, you know what I mean? And then like I was like,
if you watching this, I'm dead as fuck, probably.
I'm dead as fuck. He's like, it's like,
damn,
damn, you got a beer. It's like, yeah, and then or something.
Let's talk about the backup. So I wrote it down because that is taking place in 2016, but the backup was from 1996.
No, 2006. 2006. He said 10 years ago.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. You're right. So I was like, oh, okay. So again, he was like, you were nicer like in the past, but it was before he met John. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but like, why is he not backing himself up? It's supposed to be weekly. You know what I'm saying? So like, are we trying to say he hasn't backed himself up in 10 years? Is that when they told him that he was about to die or something? And he's like, you ain't. He backed up again once he got more storage in the cloud. But
that would be funny if that's the case. It's like, yeah, we got click. It's like I didn't pay the monthly amount to get the 5 terabyte. I didn't get the 5 terabytes. I got the one. It was too much money. It was too much money.
I was like, but then I was like, oh, okay. So again, I thought it was interesting. So again, I hope that comes back. I hope he does, like I said, he does back himself up one last time. So we see it in 2016. Right. Like once John gets the ring, somehow he gets that final backup. Maybe he's like, your dad's here. Like maybe that's how he solves it. Ultimately, it's like, oh shit, like he sees his murder. Somehow he backs up and he sees the murder. Dad takes, but shouldn't the ring fly?
Huh? Go
Shouldn't the ring, once he's dead, shouldn't the ring fly off his hand? I only saw the movie, so like, should they go find him? Like, can anyone just grab the ring and hold it?
Yeah, I mean they can't see, and it depends on who's writing the comics, but even with Abin Sur, the dying pilot, Abin Sur, I mean it depends on which version you want to use, but the big thing with Abin Sur is as he was dying when he came to Earth, he took his ring off and he says, find the one who's without fear, like find the right one. And then the ring flew off. But it was only after he kind of gave the order. And
Okay.
yeah, no, because but yes, people have used the ring in the past. There was which I thought was a nice little. I think they were doing a throwback when they showed the counterfeit money because there was a criminal at one point that stole the ring, and then used the ring to become like pretty much a millionaire by creating like a bunch of cash and cashed it in or whatever or something. You know what I mean? But then there's other versions where it's like people put the ring on and then nothing would happen because the ring was like, you ain't the one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, or so it really depends on which version they're doing. It seems like they're kind of doing both because they're saying like the ring must choose you, but then at the same time it's the Guardians that choose you as well. So technically speaking, the ring has its own like personality, but at the same time, mommy and daddy of the ring basically say, hey, look, you ring, you child, you need to like go over there. You know what I mean?
This is your next stop. But that being said, so again, we don't see John interviewing or being interviewed for the job. Well, I think it's gonna come later. There's a time he's talking to a woman. I'm assuming she represents the Guardians or whatever. So I figured that they're gonna redo that scene or be like, or she's encouraging him to go kill Hal, to be like, hey, like go get your ring, right? And that kind of thing. Right, and then Sinestro again in the trailer. You saw the trailer. I know you big.
Yeah, I saw like one or two versions of it. I saw the one. Which one did I see? I saw the one when he talked to the girl from the Sea World word.
Yeah.
And I think, and that's the thing. I really hope that they. I mean, I get it, they're trying to save money or whatnot, but if she's supposed to be the Guardians, I'm sorry, man. Yo. Just splurge like half a million and create a big old blue alien, okay, with a big old blue head. You know, just one alien.
Look, like you said,
I don't like. Yeah, I really don't because not only that in this episode it says like the blue is like said you got our big blue bosses. So I'm thinking like if you say that, we're going to want to see that. You know what I mean? It'll be one thing if they didn't say the blue. You know what I mean? Even though like comic book fans would know that they're supposed to be blue. You know what I mean? You know, so I don't. I'm hoping maybe we see like a version of her before she like
turns human.
She transforms to the human side. We see a blue.
Yes, in the trailer he's talking to a woman. She's a Guardian.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know that. But what I'm saying is like I'm hoping she like also shows like her true self, and then he gets maybe I don't know.
Well, so but in it she's almost taunting him to John to take out Hal, like go get your ring that belongs to you, right? Like Hal's time is up. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of conversation. So does that cause some kind of fight between them? Maybe he tells his dad. Like, I love your idea that it's his dad that does it. So maybe he tells
maybe
his dad.
That's not probably a good Guardian. So that's the thing too. So that Guardian could probably be a corrupt one, which is how you got like folks like Sinestro, because all the Guardians. So Guardians though they're not all like perfect beings. They're not like the Watcher, where it's like they're all like great people, whatever. They all start off like that, but some Guardians become corrupt. And that's why you have, hell, that's why you have like even like folks like Sinestro that's able to wear the, you know what I mean? So I'm theorizing there's a possibility that that Guardian is not even possibly even a good Guardian. It's like probably tricking Stewart to do something, to essentially get rid of Hal, because Hal is a problem for for what that particular Guardian is trying to do.
Wants to take care of, right? So that'd be kind of like the internal mystery,
yeah.
maybe. But again, I'm just saying, like, I know that was discussed again. Sinestro was discussed. Sinestro being in prison was on the trailer. I randomly found this channel. Are y'all for or against the first episode? That's a very binary.
We hate it. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
We love it. We love it, man. We love it.
Yeah, it was a good episode. It was a good episode. So
it's really good.
I hope that we are more of a nuanced channel where we can acknowledge the good and maybe not so good parts of anything. Like it was a decent start, you know what I'm saying? But there's some things that they could have did better, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong. I think I can watch
and not only that, you know what though? So we're talking about how great this first episode. David, how many shows have we watched where the pilot was awesome?
Trash.
You know what I mean? And then after that, we're just like, what? Nah. Like, yo, I mean, okay. I don't want to trigger you when I bring the show up. The pilot episode to Yellow Jackets.
Fuck you, man.
I mean, yo, we were talking about. I was like, yo, this is gonna be all like.
This is all. And then
I know I was.
It was good, but then it was like it went to shit. Like but no. But the difference is we know where this is going, and we know like there's a destination. You know what I'm saying? So it's not you know what I'm saying, it's not open ended in that sense. Like for one, we know Hal ain't gonna make it, but there's a reason. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason, and you know that John has to put on the suit. That there's a bigger future for him. So what James Gunn is doing. To the positives, James Gunn is not involved in the direct creation of this show. And that is a huge positive because if fucking Hal Jordan turned out to be a black Star-Lord, I would have been done with this. If he would have had a dog, if there would have been unnecessary late 70s, early 80s music, I would have said, fuck this show.
Well, it kind of had the music when he entered the car. You know what I mean? You know, but
it's different. Like that's you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like
I know exactly what you mean.
James has a formula and it really gets on my nerves. And I feel like that's the same thing he did with Supergirl, why that went to shit. Superman, because
no. So James Gunn had nothing to do with Supergirl. The problem was I forgot the lady's name who directed it. She wanted to recreate what James Gunn did, but it just failed. You know what I mean? Because James, yeah.
Well, no, but again, even if he was, it's a repeated formula, right? You know, that's what I'm saying. And like I was like, I don't need to see. And also, Superman for me, it was a Justice League movie. Like Superman needs to stand on his own. Like a Lantern in his own show should be able to stand on his own. Mm-hmm. And then he says, "Oh, I can help you with a bigger threat because it takes more than just me." But I don't need to see a random little character is trying to help out every superhero. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right?
Be you.
I mean, it's the first time we've seen Green Lanterns in live action form. This is the very first time we've seen it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, unless you want to talk about the Snyder cut in Justice League where we kind
of yeah. They kind of randomly showed up.
Count that. But but
Ryan Reynolds, don't do that. Like Ryan
shit. You know, no, I'm sorry. I guess I was thinking, Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds was basically kind of James Gunn, right? Was that the James Gunn version, pretty much? Was that? James Gunn meets Deadpool, I guess, you know.
No, so wait a minute. Bigger channels are complaining about a Black Lantern and shitting on white men.
About and both and shitting on what? Wait, and doing both?
Wow, that's usually they
about pick one. Wait. Are you saying that they're upset that there is a Black Green Lantern? Or what are you saying? I personally like the first episode and want to see how it plays out. Well, anyway, thank you for being part of the family. People mad as hell. John, fuck the white, fuck the white. I kind of am. I'm kind of mad.
Yeah,
I'm mad.
Yeah, you may have came in late, but we said that was unnecessary.
Yeah, that was unnecessary. That's a Hal Jordan thing to do. But Jon Stewart, come on, man, you're better than that, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was like, I'm not saying he can't get draws. I mean, if he would have slept with the sheriff, it would have been fine. It would have been more age appropriate. I'm more concerned about the age. Like, if he would have hung out with the kid, you know what I'm saying, after a while, the sheriff, you know, like, he got some of the sheriff's draws, like, after a while, I would have been okay with that. Like, that would have made a little bit more sense. It just seemed random as fuck. And clearly, she was investigating him. Clearly, it was a plant situation. It was a setup situation. Right. And he didn't pick that up. It just makes him look like a mark. And, like, and that doesn't.
Yeah, you know, like, and then now she's gonna be pregnant and be like, now I got the heir to the Lantern
to the ring,
to the ring. Yeah, It belongs to me.
Hey,
You know?
so Will is an alien cook in this situation. He's like, no, in my planet, it's a compliment to have sex with somebody else's wife. I was like, not on Earth. Like these are fighting words. And then even Hal was like, oh, I would have been impressed with you, bro. Like hilarious. Like they're good together. Like I want to see them together. Like yes, that's what I'm saying. They're better together than they are apart. That's what I'm saying.
Like, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
yeah, no, and the thing is though,
both. Yes.
The thing about Stewart, I mean, because I get it. I mean, obviously, Hal Jordan is like the most popular of the Green Lanterns, obviously, you know. But the thing about Stewart, and if y'all ever watch like the animated Justice League show, Stewart is a great leader because that's the thing. He pretty much, you know, at one point, you know, I know he pretty much ran the Justice League. You know what I mean? Over Superman and whatnot, he basically was like literally like giving out orders, you know, and every single time, man, people tell him like, "Yo, you got to lighten up, bro." You know what I mean? So Hawkgirl finally was able to kind of break down that shield and broke down those draws. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But no, but that's what made even John Stewart good. To your point, was that John Stewart's playing off of other people who are so different. You know what I mean? Like John Stewart got irritated with Barry Allen. He was so irritated. Like, you know what I mean? And that's why this is kind of perfect. Like to your point about it's better that they're together. You know, in this. You know, because if you can imagine like watching Lethal Weapon and it's just only Mel Gibson, it would just be one chaos. It would just basically pretty much be like a Jason Statham movie of Crank. And it was just chaos, and there's just nothing else. You know what I mean? Or if it's Danny Glover, and Danny Glover's just like this old man complaining all the time.
Oh, damn,
like that's all he complains.
He was only in his 40s apparently. but I totally agree with you, Chris. Yellow Jackets was plot was good, and then it went downhill.
That's why I love it. Yeah, I mean that's why I'm. A part of me is a little bit cautious about the next episodes. However, I look at the track record of HBO. I know.
Don't forget the Idol.
Idol was never good. Not even the first episode. What are you talking about?
I mean, HBO can fail. HBO can fail, Chris.
Yes, no, you're right. But
and the last season of Game of Thrones, actually probably the last 2 seasons. And Westworld with the shit. I mean, this show ain't gonna go that long.
Well, yeah, to your point, yeah. But I think that's any show, even including HBO. If it continues on and it becomes too repetitive, then it's going to suck. But but the fact that they got some of the the people who was part of True Detective and the people that did Watchmen, and they're all working on this show. Yeah, that's a really good sign. That's a really good sign. You know what I mean?
And they have a destination. Like they know that, like, again, this is not the end. It's not an insular story. They're just trying to get Jon Stewart where he needs to be so we understand him. And then similar what Disney was trying to do when Disney Plus started to do with the Marvel TV shows. And Falcon and Winter Soldier. Falcon and Winter Soldier would be the best example. Turn Sam Wilson into Captain America on TV. So when he goes back to the movies, he's already Captain America, and it makes sense, right? And Bucky becomes, evolves. So it's like, how do we expand these characters enough that we know to give them some backstory, some substance before we send them back to the movies? And that kind of worked out for that kind of situation. When this version is meant for adults, but I was a bit disgusted with what she was granny, and we're not age shaming. We're saying this age appropriate. Like I seen her in the show called Deli Boys, and she's really good in that show. It's just the age difference between the two characters, and it just doesn't work when it just didn't work. And it's also the timing. It's the timing. He looked like a mark. She could have been her his age, and he looked like he got taken advantage of.
One thing, even with her, if it was like we saw them always interacting for like a week, like for several days. Yeah, it even probably made more sense. But it was like you got a one night stand. You were definitely sober. And it was just like, dude, it did.
He used the ring to light her cigarette, bro. That was the dumbest shit I've ever seen, bro. What are we doing? Like this, and then oh, by the way, back to the budget, the bubble wrap. Like we should have saw him pop out of that car, which there was nothing, no one in that car when they crashed it. There was nothing in that car when they crashed it the first time, obviously. But if we would have saw like him come up with the bubble wrap, that would have been awesome. But it's like they couldn't afford it or something. Like it would have been awesome to be like in a split second he's able to use the ring, right? Like we should. I wanted to see that.
To your point, this is to what you're saying about the bubble wrap. What I would have been all right is if we don't even see the bubble wrap, we just see the car crash, right? And then it goes to the lanterns, and then it's not until he's retelling it to Hal, where we see like a very like 1 second like flashbacks like bubble wrap, and then we see like a very quick, and then, you know what I mean? So, to your point, you know.
But you're right, because it was like, oh, he ain't dead, but you know, we think he's dead. Like your point, like tell him how'd you get here? And I walked for 3 miles. So like when he walked for 3 miles, it was like, hello, sir. I was like, okay, you need to get some personality, bro. But like that is like he's like, but it's again watching it again, you understand where his mind. Also, speak back to race. I saw I'm sure I can't think. I don't know their name. It's two black. It's a black man and a black woman. I think they're friends. I don't think they're a couple, but they review the show and that kind of stuff. They're younger. They're younger than me at least. The line in the beginning when he's talking to his dad and he says, like, I'm mad. Basically, he's like, he can throw a tantrum, you can't. Like, you got to keep yourself together, right? They took it racially, and I did not. I felt like that was more of he's a lantern. His dad sees like that's a different thing. Like he made it and you did it. You have to keep yourself together to stay on track. I didn't see it as a white privilege versus.
I took it as both. I took it as both, especially, but that was a lot of it just has to deal with knowing where Stewart kind of
comic book came from. Yeah,
because that's how Stewart always has played it, and that's why he's very like by the books or whatnot, because he is very like in the comics he's very concerned as far as like not wanting to, even though like he's all about like injustice and knowing about like cops that like corrupt, when it comes to corrupt cops he can't stand them. He hates what they see the black people, but at the same time he also wants to represent to show that, hey, we ain't all like you know what I mean, we ain't all like
I got you
jiving and all this other stuff. So I took it as like a meta. I did think it was like a double meaning. I did. You know what I mean? It's like they can do that. Like we it's like, you know, we can't show emotion. You know, like they can. You know, and I was thinking like I was like, oh snap! Especially when I saw it the second time, I was like, all right. I you know what I mean? It's like I'm sure that's probably what they kind of meant as a secondary meaning.
All right.
You know what I mean?
But they should have dropped more episodes. I tortured myself and watched the Green Lantern movie after. Yeah, you shouldn't have did that.
I did one and done, man. I did the one being the super, like I remember, matter of fact, I was on TDY. I was in TDY in Tampa. And straight up, I was like, yo, I went to movie theaters. Matter of fact, I was ready for it. I packed in my bags like a Green Lantern shirt. You know what I mean? Everything. I think I even had the hat too, I think. Watched the film thinking like, you know what I mean? It was before all the YouTube reviewers and stuff came out and whatnot. So I'm just thinking like, oh, this would be cool. And I watched it and I was like, walked out of that theater like,
no.
What damn? What the hell is this? It's like, what the hell was this? I was like, Ryan, what?
Like,
you know,
so I felt what I felt about the movies, what I felt about not Hitch. Well, Hancock. Oh. They started off strong. Once the villain got involved, it got stupid. That's why I felt. Like I felt Ryan Reynolds was a decent Hal Jordan. He was a great Hal Jordan. The villain was poorly developed and executed. It wasn't him, and it really wasn't the special effects. I thought the special effects was awesome. Him getting the ring was awesome.
You did. You thought
for the time, I thought he looked awesome. Like
I thought it looked so cartoony. See, and this is why I kind of understand why HBO was like, you know what, we ain't doing this whole like thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like not full. Like we'll wait till James Gunn gets his hands on it when he wants to do like a version of it. I'm all right with them not doing the whole like green suits all flying everywhere and we got aliens everywhere and it just straight looks like a George Lucas film. Like, you know what I mean? because it didn't work for me in the Ryan Reynolds film or whatnot. Even though I love that they got like Michael Clark Duncan to voice Kilowog or whatnot, but I'm like looking at some of these characters, I'm like, that don't. This ain't working for me. Other than maybe Mark Strong when he like him being like
becomes
Sinestro or whatnot.
Yeah.
But a lot of that was just kind of makeup. You know what I mean? There was a little bit of CGI with him. The CGI just didn't work. You know, Ryan Reynolds' costume didn't work for me, especially when he put the
mask,
the mask on, which
yeah.
That is comic book accurate or whatnot, but I was thinking like, oh man, that looks so corny. Hell, even your background, I'm good. I'm glad that we saw the suit, but I know for me personally, it would take a little bit out for me because it just doesn't work unless they kind of somehow jazz the shit out of it for like it just doesn't work, and I don't know how you do it. You know what I mean? Because hell, like even when if you look at characters like Wolverine, you notice Wolverine, other than maybe the Deadpool Wolverine movie, but that was meant to like kind of be kind of funny or whatnot. Wolverine has never ever wore his signature outfit in any of the Wolverine or X-Men films up until the Deadpool thing, you know what I mean? Which was kind of done in tongue in cheek anyway. You know what I mean? It just because some of that stuff just doesn't work, and I never felt like I always knew when they did, and that's why I told you I was kind of iffy when I heard that they announcing that they were going to do a live action Green Lantern like show. I was like, maybe a movie, but like you're gonna do all these work. I was like, I don't know how this is going to look. Are they going to have to get like James Cameron budget like they did with Avatar? Like what?
Well, like you said, they don't have to do the entire Green Lantern core, like and like to that. But like to your point, the suit in this, like they try to look realistic, and I appreciate the effort. Look more like armor, like legit, like he's wearing like a robot suit, almost like a stormtrooper, like type of thing. Like he looked like a stormtrooper, and I see the realistic effects look better. I agree, the mask is never going to work. You can't show Batman, Robin with the mask. It just looks silly. Like and so that definitely has to stay off. But like you said, they could have lit up the suit a little bit. But again, budget, like what they can afford to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? I think. Well, I completely forgot Ryan Reynolds was Green Lantern, and the after credits of Deadpool 2, which was when he shot himself. That shit was hilarious. Yeah. I'm Canadian, so I always have to defend him when possible. Again, his personality worked for me. It was a writing issue, a special effects issue, but I felt like he was a decent Lantern. You know what I'm saying? Like as an actor.
I'll say I guess I can agree with it. Now, granted, I've only seen that movie once, and I know when I remember when they first announced that Ryan Reynolds was playing Hal Jordan, I did think that was great casting. At the time. So no, I don't. I think to your point, I think a lot of it had to do with just the script itself.
Yeah.
Because
that villain looked like shit, and it didn't make no sense. And I was like, what? Just like
Galactus and Fantastic
Four too. Yeah, I was like, that made
like
no
a cloud.
sense.
I'm like, the hell is this?
Like, what is this? But then they did when they did Fantastic Four this time, that shit was awesome. I was like MCU did it right. You know what I'm saying? The mask was corny. Wolverine doesn't need the suit. When he put, I screamed my ass when he was like, when he put that shit on. I was like,
right.
He committed. This old ass man committed to this 90s cartoon stuff, and I was like, only Ryan Reynolds would have been like, we're going this far, or we're not doing it, and they're like, go ahead, bro. Like, and I was like, anyway. I'm sorry. Well, we are getting off track. So I like the idea of like one or two men on Earth, like getting into adventures, like they keep it more grounded. But remember, we are dealing with aliens and we're dealing with superheroes, and they need to do that. Or it's just two guys in Nebraska. You know what I'm saying? And like that's not what I signed up for. Like I need to see some like galactic stuff. Like at some level, I need to see that to make this agreement. But the trailer, like they're gonna give it. This may take a few episodes before they get there.
I mean, I'm okay. I get it. I get that because that's the thing. Like the majority of times, to your point, a lot of it is when it comes to Green Lantern, it is more about space, unless you're talking about like Justice League usually. But I think for this format, it works. To your point, I think if we as far as the space adventure type stuff, I don't know if, for starters, I don't know how that would look live action as far as yeah, I don't know how that would look unless they kind of make it so realistic to this in the sense of what they did with Krypton and Supergirl. I will say this, like that was really I liked what they did with what they did for Krypton. If you saw, because did you see Supergirl? You didn't see Supergirl, did you? You didn't.
No.
What they did for because I remember thinking like I don't know how they're gonna do it. And that was they looked like kind of like it was like a realistic take as far as like what Kryptonians would look like. The world it didn't look like the whole jazzed up thing that you saw in the original like Superman film with Marlon Brando or whatnot.
Oh,
You know, I mean, they just look like just normal people who just someone that just probably like look like the upper class, you know, you know, type folks or whatnot. But the worlds didn't look insane necessarily,
yeah.
And that's how they would kind of have to do that with Green Lantern, but at the same time with Oa, and then having these other universes and stuff like that. If you're going to do like galactic stuff, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of it is it's going to be it's so hard to do stuff without making it corny, unfortunately. And he's one of the characters that it just unfortunately with a lot of stuff that happens with Green Lantern, it just would like you wouldn't have that problem when it comes to Batman. You don't really have that problem when it comes to Superman because Superman usually stays on Earth. Same thing with Flash, Wonder Woman. Like usually it's like sometimes even in their home world, but then it's just like girls like on horses, so it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? And you know, but Green Lantern. I don't know. That's the one tricky superhero when it comes to DC, where I don't know how that would. It just look. I don't know. It just looks kind of weird, you know. But Thor was able to do it, you know, in a sense. So
yeah. Well, so again, I'm just saying, like, they're gonna be on Earthbound superhero stuff is fine. I just need the superhero stuff. Like, that's what I'm saying. But look, again, it looks like Hal uses the ring quite often. I want to see John use the ring, like more. So leaving, and I agree with that comment. We talked about that. Leaving out, I think John's first using the ring is bad. Again, not showing him using the ring makes it an easy argument for plot armor. I never read the comics, but I read the comments on these videos and heard his character is accurate, unless you guys have a different opinion. John Stewart,
this is perfect John Stewart. I would say even though Kyle Chandler is a good Hal Jordan, but like literally Aaron Pierre, that is John Stewart. You know what I mean? Like straight up by the book, except the whole granny thing. You know what I mean? Everything.
And even Kim said the sex scene was awkward.
It was awkward, but him kind of control his emotions because you saw how Hal kept trying to push the button. He's like, yo, I'm late. He's like, he's like, how come every time you say sir, it sounds like you want to say fuck you. He keeps it in, and that's his thing, you know. And I'm thinking like, okay, and in the way Aaron plays the role, and I'm like, I'm buying it, and I'm thinking like, hell, even if you watch the animated version of Justice League, he actually sounds like that John Stewart. You know what I mean?
I thought he voiced him. I thought he voiced him. I thought like
he would have been a kid, man. He would have been like kind of a young kid.
I don't know. I really thought I was to your point. I was hyped too. I think about the mask. Yeah, I've only seen it once as well, but it goes to show that Ryan was always a fan of comics. Yeah. He also the trauma. Oh. The way he spoke to Kate's son about, he was like, how did you get so good? It was like, well, my dad used to shoot apples off my head with no hesitation, no type of like, and the kid just walked off like, I got other things to talk about. I'm like, this young man needs therapy. Like, what the fuck? He's like,
that's coming back. I guarantee you that's coming back. I mean, the father's still alive. I told you about that theory that I have.
That's a great. I mean, I hope that would tie it together, because right now I'm just like, why do we need to see this, bro? Because I'm feeling sorry for this young man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, they need to come full circle with that somehow.
Yeah, but like, and just who Stewart is, like, he bottles everything up, and then you see it in the comics where it's like because he's so wanting to do the mission correctly.
Yeah.
He tries to bottle horrible stuff that he sees, and he just tries not to let his emotion shows. And then when someone all of a sudden like triggers him to the extreme, all of a sudden he goes like rampage, and he just like he nearly almost killed somebody because of that. You know what I mean? Because he just doesn't, he doesn't know how to regulate that. And the way this first episode kind of sets everything up, and everything with this conversation with his father on the phone tells me we're going to see somewhere in this season that Stewart is going to lose it. If not, we're going to come back to this, and I'm going to say, hey, that's a negative, because I think that needs. No, I'm just saying, no, because you know what I mean, because it's like that's part of Stewart. You know what I mean? Like that's his weakness. His weakness is that he just doesn't let like some of his personality always shows through to folks. Like he keeps himself guarded. You know what I mean? And that's why both Guy Gardner and Hal Jordan sometimes has a problem with him, because they're thinking like, dude, like you holding yourself back. And that's why even his powers, like his creativity, is so different from the two characters. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like, he does practical stuff. You know what I mean? He does like just simplistic things with his imagination. Whereas like I feel like if Hal Jordan was thrown off the cliff, he wouldn't have done a bubble wrap. For Hal Jordan, he would have probably had like some sort of mattress or something. You know what I mean? Like a mattress. And then Guy Gardner, it would have been like, for him, it would have been like a baseball mitt, because Guy Gardner's he's all about extreme craziness. You know what I mean? When it comes to his creativity, I mean, hell, we saw it in Superman. We did his little middle fingers.
I was like, that's a James Gunnism. Like, I thought
it is, but it's a Guy Gardner thing too, though. So,
I love that moment. Like, that was probably one of the best moments in that movie. In the other Superman movie, you know what I'm saying? They were trying to do. But people should give this show a chance. In my opinion, it's better than the whole damn Wonder Man series just off the first episode.
I don't know about that. First of all, why is Wonder Man catching strays right now, bro? Like, why you get why is Wonder Man catching strays, dude? Like, come on.
No. I agree, and Chris and I talked about this. I agree with you that this is a superhero episode about a superhero. Like, Wonder Man got off track. Like, it was a great story about a man trying to make it in Hollywood, and it was awesome that that's how it was pitched. But it was like, this is a superhero story. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, this starts off with superhero, like, or someone trying to be a superhero. It remembers what it is. So I think it delivers from that standpoint.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I can agree with you, Andre. I don't know. I mean, because I love the concept of Wonder Man, just literally him playing like the cast, like being an actor of Wonder Man, especially knowing that Wonder Man really is an actor himself as well. So I hear you. If you want to see action and stuff, okay, I got you.
But just remember, I read a random comment claiming the Green Lantern that Green Lantern in a small town is comic book accurate, though I can't personally confirm it. I would leave Chris for that. That last sir was definitely a fuck you. I love the chemistry. I think Jon Stewart, ex-military partner, took out Hal. That's why they keep talking about John as a military sniper, and the bullet in Hal's head is a sniper shot. All right.
His ex-partner, military partner. Think Jon Stewart.
Yeah. John. So like I saw him jump out of a building. We haven't got to his military his military history, but I think we're going to get more into that. Cross, the actor that plays Alex Cross would have made a good Jon Stewart. Thoughts?
Maybe. I think so. I think so. Yeah. What's his name? Aldris or something. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I can't say that man's name.
Yeah.
But
I
think
actually, you know what? Now more I think of it. Yeah. He would definitely. I think he would have played a good Jon Stewart. Yeah.
I didn't like the scene with the father personally. It was unnecessary. As Chris brings up a great point of how they tie it back to the ending, and if they do that, then the scene was necessary. And again, I don't know. They're just trying to show the trauma that created this very stoic, person that he is. That he keeps everything inside. He was trained this way as a child. They need to bring back Cross. As Hawkman, the beef with him and Aaron Pierre would be cinema. That's right. That's right. But
he's like, yo, you messing with my girl. That's my girl.
Man,
I was reincarnated for her. What the hell? That would be, but then and then we have black on black crime, man. What the hell?
Right. We got it. We got to get past that.
Why you want that? Why you want that? Why you want that?
But I hated Hawk Girl screaming in that movie. Goddamn, she got on my nerves. Bubba Bat was a lack of imagination.
Right.
I'm black.
And that's why it fits Stewart so good. Even with the whole lighting up her cigarette thing, he just created just like what do you call it? What do you call the car?
No, a lighter, like that. I know that super hot lighter. He just created remember that's back in the day, the old lighter we used to stick it into the car and pull it out. Yeah. That's exactly what he did. He's not even old enough to know what that is.
Well, that's not true. His father could have had an old school vehicle, like you know what I mean. They still got those old school cars. What you mean?
No. I barely remember that, and I'm 40. Like he was a teenager. He was a child in '96. No. Like I disagree with that one. I disagree. Like I disagree. I gotta hold strong to that. I don't.
All right. He old enough to mess with a granny. Maybe he knows.
It's experience. I'm black, and I would only say that amongst other black people, I like Wonder Man as well. Well, again, I'm irritated that the main actor is trying to turn that into a black show, some bullshit like that. Canceling that is like canceling black people. I think he's just I disagree. I fucking disagree with that. I think he's mad the show got canceled. What's up?
Do you think he would have been a good Jon Stewart in this show?
I don't know the character enough to answer that question. I think you know what I'm saying? Like he looked cool. I mean, as long as you can put on the suit and do some stuff, it's fine. But I don't have a image in my head. It's not like when I saw Robert Downey Jr. play Iron Man, I didn't know who Iron Man was. I mean, as a character, but seeing him, I was like, awesome. Ryan Reynolds doing Deadpool. I generally knew what Deadpool's personality was supposed to be like, and I'm like, that's Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
That's a perfect match. But I can't speak to Jon Stewart.
Yeah, you know what? And to your point, like the actors you just named, like they also had like a plethora of of archive like movies and shows. Meanwhile, like Aaron Pierre, he's had a couple.
There's that one Netflix movie. Yeah, everybody tells me about the Netflix movie. Like that's it. I don't.
He was also in the movie Old, where he played Cadillac. What's his name? What was it? Cadillac John, whatever like that. Yeah, the M. Night Shyamalan movie. He was in the M. Night Shyamalan movie. Yeah.
Also, voiced Mufasa. He also voiced Mufasa.
Yeah.
Terry loves to sing that song when he was coming. Jennifer Hudson's show. Everybody gets a theme song as they walk.
Oh, and then they just dance in the hallway.
It's Mufasa. Yeah. She sings that shit like every 5 minutes. But I remember. Yeah. He's there's a. Eldris
Hodge. That's his name. Eldris Hodge. Thank you.
So yes, he is coming back. God, it better be better than season 2. But Cross is coming back for a season 3. I was very disappointed in season 2. I don't know why they messed this up. But recent former Hawkman. As we were discussing that. Then we got. I don't think you can really compare Wonder Man and Lanterns. They're just way too different shows.
I agree, man. I agree, because it's like, it's not fair. It's not fair. Because look, I personally love Wonder Man, and I love this show. They're just two different shows. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can. We can do both. We can enjoy two different genres. You know what I mean?
I was a child in '96, and I remember car lighters. I was like,
David, come on, don't act like.
All right. I mean,
you
like,
can still find cars today, like, you know what I mean. That was made back then that people still have. You know what I mean?
All right.
Like, you know what I mean?
All right. Okay. Hal or Guy would have made a trampoline.
Yes,
a bouncy house.
There you go. Hal would have done a trampoline. Guys would have been more zanier than some trampoline. Hal's would have been a trampoline though. But Guy would have had like I said, either a baseball mitt, or he would have put like some. Oh, actually no, Hal would have actually, because he was a fighter pilot, he would probably put some wings on the damn on that car. He would probably put some wings or a jet.
He would have made a plane. He would have made
a plane out of that car.
Or a parachute. No Flame, she had to touch the element. Again, special effect. They just couldn't afford it.
But no, I don't know. I don't think that was the special effect.
Hey,
I think that
guys.
was Stewart's lack of imagination. Because to your point, if that was the case, then we wouldn't have had Hal do the can opener, the bottle opener, or the money. So you know what I mean. I don't think it was a budget. I think it was just
you're right.
How they're different.
You're right, and he never taught him how to do shit. Really. Bye, Kim. She said she'll see us tomorrow.
I'll see you, Kim. Bye.
For Average Joe. Average Joe will be tomorrow afternoon. I'm waiting for Supercell season 2 also.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Cross is coming back. I know Anne Pierre first from who short lived in Krypton.
Who did he play on Krypton? Now, granted, I don't remember seeing all the episodes. I think the last episode I saw was when they introduced Lobo. Lobo was on there for like a second, and but at that point I was kind of done with the show. So, yeah,
I didn't even watch that shit. You know why? Superman. Like Superman leaves Krypton. So what are we doing? It's like watching Power Book 3. I'm like, no. Like the show starts. Superman Kal-El leaves, damn it. Like it don't work out for that planet. Like, why are you watching a show where you know nothing's gonna work out for that planet? Like, what do we achieve?
I mean, why watch a show about planet Earth when you know Earth is eventually going to fade away eventually too?
Not Chris, not saying, not saying, not saying. I'm like Pompey. I'm just like no, but like we said, he was one of the Krypton soldiers.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why I don't remember.
I'm waiting for Supercell season 2 and Pete Valley, bro. Damn it, we're still gonna be waiting. That's why Lil Murder's on this show.
he's like, I need a steady paycheck. And
he's in some movie too. Anyway. We're gonna wrap this up. Any predictions? You have a great theory, and I hope you're right, honestly. But anything else you want to see from this show that you feel has to be in it, just from a storytelling, a comic book standpoint? Is there anything you feel like John Stewart has?
Like I said, I need Stewart to lose it. I need Stewart to essentially kind of lose his shit, essentially. So to kind of make it to show how much he's evolving to really be able to really wear the ring, which because that's the thing, because he's always going to be tested. So I need that to happen where he's kind of tested to the max. I also would like to make sure that I need a little bit more clarification about the whole. Though, and I'm sure we're going to get it, but I just want to verify. I just want to make sure that we get more clarification as far as the whole one ring thing and the whole like only having one Green Lantern.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I mean? I'm sure they will. I'm sure they're going to, but that's just that's kind of the two of the biggest things. Obviously, we know that Hal Jordan's still coming back in a sense. You know what I mean? Back in 2016, but I think it will also be cool we get him as far as like a construct of a ring as well. Have him come back. I thought it was kind of very telling that we saw that in the first episode. Yeah. So that kind of usually kind of tells me that that's going to happen again. And
that's a good point.
Yeah, and I think that's it. And I'm sure yours is going to be more about having them doing actual superhero stuff and more intergalactic stuff. So I'm definitely sure that's going to be you.
Unlike other shows, it's very clear in the trailer they're going to. So I'm okay with that. It's no doubt they're going to do some spectacular stuff. It's going to be on Earth, and it looks great. I can't wait to see the trailer come to life. You know what I'm saying? So, and I appreciate that. Again, it was just, I say very, very minimum. Hal's ring origin story should have been done. They should not spare an expense to make that happen. So when it happens to John, we can see both of them had their journey and they got the ring in a certain way. I just because Hal's story just sounds very awesome, and I would like to have seen the alien. Because after watching again Ryan Reynolds do it, like I saw that version, I saw it. It would be nice to see how they reimagined it, with this Hal. I thought it would have been something.
Yeah,
I disagree on P Valley. My ex liked it and it was trash. Oh well, and Krypton was boring. Nice to meet you too. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you joined the channel. Yeah, we did a House of the Dragon. Please check out our reviews on that. We will be doing this every week. But truly, I hope you join the family. What's up, Chris? You saying?
No, I forgot. Like when reading the comments, kind of messed me up.
Sorry. Well,
no,
just
no,
real
no,
quick.
no, not you. I was reading it too.
So we're gonna say Men in Green is what Chris loves AI. He's very good with it. I will ask him to send me the training day one because I'm gonna start using that as our intro because this is definitely more training day. Now we've further talked about it. I feel like, but awesome, great acting, great writing, nothing less than what we expect from HBO. And I look forward to every episode. And a grounded superhero show, if you will. I'm sure it will be better for me than Peacemaker. Peacemaker was a very different type of show. But this doesn't seem like this is not James Gunn. You know, and I'm happy with that. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see somebody else do something different.
But it's hard hitting like James Gunn, like F-bombs every 5 seconds. You know, I'm like, ooh, you know.
Well, I was actually gonna bring that up. It's less profanity than we saw in Peacemaker, but Peacemaker is a different.
You
character.
think so?
Oh yeah. Peacemaker was like, fuck shit, dick, love, pussy. Now,
but you're basing off the entire show Peacemaker. I'm just basing off just like one episode. Like if you put episode by episode.
Episode by episode, Peacemaker went way too far with the swearing, and I don't mind swearing. I just felt like it was gratuitous. In episode by, I just felt like it was gratuitous. Like this, it was where it needed to be. Is what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like,
you know what? Now that you say that, yeah.
I mean, so I the more 2006 Hal should have been investigated more. And 2016 to 2026, John should have been explored more. So explain more.
You know, I also noticed too, he got shot, or it looks like he got shot in the middle.
That's where the blood is at.
Like,
Yeah.
Usually something like that, and dude had a ring. If he had the ring, like I'm talking about Hal had his ring, like which means like not trying to be a detective, but you always hear it all the time. You know, usually when something like that happened, that means that person knew, like he knew whoever shot him. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. It was someone he knew, like someone could get that.
Yeah. Well, I guess that would probably be the case anyway. You know, it wouldn't be just some like Omar stuff from The Wire. I know I keep bringing up Omar from The Wire. It's like, you know what I mean? But so it'd be like, you should have chose me. Now it's gonna be,
Now it's gonna be you. My problem to you of Hal is always on guard. Always, you know what I'm saying? So who got the drop on him? Like or was it? It's time for me to go though. We don't know where Hal.
Yeah, because that. You know what that dude said? That dude said, "You really." It says, you really want to die, don't you?" Like, I feel like no joke. Whatever happened in those 10 years where he didn't want to back up, like I think he really got like kind of fucked up in the head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Similar to what you saw with Supergirl in the sense. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then so something happened. Like I guess we're gonna have to see what. We're going to obviously get an explanation of what happened in those 10 years that just kind of made Hal just not give a shit anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then eventually just be like, F it. Like, I guess it's my time,
And so I think he allowed it to happen. That's what I'm saying. Like it could have been his dad. It could have been John's dad that did it. But somehow he's like, it's my time. Right. And I'm okay with that. But again, then where's the ring? If it's just hanging on his finger, then his dad took it. Maybe it's like, it's my turn to be the Lantern. Maybe John has to go against his dad to get the ring back. We are here every Saturday and Sunday. Thank you, Ink. So if you watch it, we record on the weekends between 4 to 7 Eastern Standard Time, depending on our volume of shows or movies and things. But tomorrow, I'm doing Tyler Perry. I'm doing The Oval and Ruthless, and then the team is gonna join me to do Average Joe season 2, episodes 1 and 2. Is what we're gonna do for that at 6 o'clock. And then like I said, the next week we got Beauty in Black. Apparently, we got Lanterns. Furious is coming at the end of the month. So we got a few things lined up, but we will be around. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed the series. I enjoyed the series. We enjoyed the series. We want to see where it goes. Hopefully Ink and Kim will be on camera with us as we grow this particular part. And we'll do more great reviews because of you guys. So we'll see you next time. Appreciate it. I will say thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I see people watching us in the chat.
I enjoy The View. I don't know what the fuck I was watching.
Rewatch this when we're done. Rewatch this. You'll see what we're talking about. You'll be like, oh shit.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
But go ahead.
Casey, do your thing. Fuck that shit.
But anyway, please like and share and comment on the video and all that kinds of stuff. As they say, we're just going to end this broadcast and say bye.